Have many guests to celebrate with our graduates. Halliburton Academy would like to acknowledge our special guests, which many are present at today's ceremony. From our central office, Mr. Putnam, Superintendent, Mr. Millen Bradley, Associate Superintendent, Mr. Roxanna Lohman, Director of Middle and High School Education, Jan Crump, Director of Human Resources, Debbie Kendall, Exceptional Children's Director, and Debbie Jennings, her Assistant EC Director, Vivian Radford, our EC Psychologist, Ms. Cheryl Shuffler, our Public Relations Director, and we have representatives from Focus and One Love agencies that work with us continually. If you would, let's give them a round of applause for being with us today. We also have members of the Western Piedmont Council of Government. Western Piedmont Workforce Development Board is represented by Ms. Donna Gilbert. Our WIA facilitator, Ms. Christy Hodges. Join me in congratulating them for being here today. Our school board members, I know we have a few in attendance today, but they are Mr. Randy Burns, Chairman, Sam Wilkerson, Vice Chair, Catherine Thomas, Don Hemstreet, Buddy Armour, Edna Weller, and R.L. Eichert. Join me in congratulating them for being here. At this time, I would also like for all members of the faculty and staff of Halliburton Academy to stand and be recognized by you as they have worked with your children for so many hours. And lastly, if you are a parent or a primary guardian of any of these graduates today, would you stand and let us congratulate you? Thank you. Graduates 2014. This is the time that I get to speak to you probably for the last time as a group before we have our presentation and you become graduates. It's difficult to know what to say at this last event of your high school career. I want to say something inspirational and to excite you about your future and all that stuff about find your own path and it's just your path and it's a unique path. Well, we'll come back to that path thing in just a little bit later. But first, you know at Halliburton we keep it real. But I do want to remind you of a couple of things. This world and the situations many of you have faced have left you burned and affected, and we recognize that. You now have a chance to become free and untarnished. With this new start that begins tomorrow, we all have talents. Please find yours, or resurrect it from somewhere that you remember when life was simpler. You see, in life, we tend to grow out of creativity, not into it. Find that creativity again. Rejuvenate that inner you and always stay as a kid at heart. Now you start real life. Unlike yesterday when you were just a high school student. So everyone is on some path. Where is your path leader? Take pride in your failed attempts. Something that takes 10 hours represents that you weren't willing to quit after 9. The determination to do something 4 times means you didn't stop after 3. Find a way and overcome because you know that is the Halliburton way. Every day we hear about unhappy things in our world. While at Halliburton, you have all seen what compassion and tolerance and second chances are all about. Most of your paths have not been easy. Carry that compassion and tolerance into your future. It's a skill you cannot survive without. Oh, and what about that find your own path speech that I'm supposed to give you? Class of January 2014, I want you to follow your own path. No one else's, just yours. Well, unless you're lost in the woods and you don't know where you're at and you see another path, then you can take that. But seriously, it's been my pleasure to serve as your principal. Congratulations. At this time, Ms. Wilson will do a dedication of the ceremony.
Well, you're finally here. And before I do the dedication of ceremony, I'd like to say a couple words to the graduates. Some of you weren't sure you were going to make it to this point. Congratulations, you've made it. I've known some of you since middle school, and I see this as a bittersweet moment. Glad that you've made it, but sad to see you go. A student told me the other day that Halliburton is her family, and I believe we are a family. But today you will move forward into the next chapter of your life. Today the safety net will be gone, and you will no longer be just kids. You will be high school graduates, adults. And I urge you to take control of that and make it count. Now, with that being said, it's time to dedicate the ceremony. Every semester, the graduating class chooses someone to dedicate the ceremony to. This semester, the graduating class couldn't narrow it down to one person. They would like to dedicate the ceremony to the staff at Halliburton, their Halley family. Many of you know you would not be here walking across this stage if it were not for the Halliburton staff. This graduation is dedicated to those people who worked weekends, after school hours, remediated, stressed over you, fought with you to see you make it to this day. So let's give the Halliburton staff a big hand. Now I would like to introduce our student speakers.